Hi, friends. Over the last 2 years, we have heard a lot about the horrible coronavirus and how vaccination is the only thing that can save us from this evil lurking over our heads. Have you ever wondered about what is really vaccination and how did it get named thus? Here is a little story about how the first vaccination process was discovered and where it got its name from. So, listen up. Long time ago, the world was once suffering from the wrath of an evil monster. He had a huge round body that swelled up like a ball of thorns. His face was marked with ugly boils that oozed with green pus, making him look even more horrible. This made the people call him the speckled monster. The monster had a free hand over the world and could travel anywhere he pleased. He would roam around with a sinister sneer, his bushy eyebrows hooding his eyes, making him look dark and dangerous. The monster loved to eat humans. With no one to stop him, he would crunch their poor bones and swallow an entire human being within days. Those he did not eat, he would leave scarred with ugly pockmarks on their face, limbs, and all over their body. The people would writhe and cry out in agony. The demon would simply gleam and gloat at their misery. Soon, as the speckled monster spread his rule over one country after another, people lived in constant fear of his attack. He spared neither prince nor pauper and treated them with the same ruthlessness. The desperate population implored the kings, priests, and doctors to save them from this anguish. One day, a Buddhist nun living in the cold mountains of China came up with a solution. She crushed the scabs that came out of the lesions that the speckled monster marked his victims with. The nun then asked few people to inhale this mixture. Soon a haze appeared around them. The speckled monster was unable to break through this. Inspired by this idea, doctors moved a step ahead and grafted this mixture into the skin of the people who were not yet attacked by the speckled monster. The haze grew thicker and provided a better protection. The monster was beaten, they thought, as he failed to penetrate this protective cloud. However, before they could celebrate this victory, the haze weakened once again, owing to the monster's repeated attacks. The monster was once again victorious and continued his rampage. He had seemed to become invincible. There was, however, one group of people whom the speckled monster could not impact. These were the dairymaids of the lands, the people who worked with cattle and milked them daily to prepare dairy products like milk, cream, cheese, and so on. This was because, while working with cows, the dairymaids had already been attacked by a group of smaller and less dangerous little devils called vaccinia, as it developed in cows, or vaxa as they were known in Latin. Now, these devils were a weaker and less potent cousins of the speckled monster. The vaccinia would also leave scars in their victims, but were not too keen on devouring them. The scars left by them were also not as prominent or ugly as the ones left by its more dangerous cousin. Moreover, being infected with vaccinia had one advantage. Vaccinia and the speckled monster had agreed between themselves that one would not attack anyone already infected with the other's germs. So, the speckled monster never attacked those whom the vaccinia had already attacked. Hence, the dairymaids strutted around happily declaring to all that they were safe from attacks by the evil monster. A young doctor of the land, Edward Jenner, when he heard the claims of the dairymaids, became thoughtful. He wondered what was it that helped keep the dairymaids safe from the onslaught of the speckled monster. He began exploring and decided to do an experiment. He sought the help of a dairymaid, Sarah, and a young boy, James, who both agreed to join him in his search for a solution to defeat this dangerous demon. So, Edward first collected matter from the boils in Sarah's hand that were caused by the vaccinia devil. He then grafted or applied them into the skin of James. The next day, James complained of fever and discomfort in his armpit. His fever worsened and he also lost his appetite. However, in a few days, James happily recovered. As a next step, Edward collected samples from a person who had been recently attacked by the speckled monster. As the pus from the sample was grafted into James's skin, Edward waited anxiously to see if his experiment would work. And it did. The speckled monster did not attack James. He remained fit and healthy. Edward realized his plan had worked. He was elated. They had finally found a way to defeat the speckled monster. He was hopeful that the day was not too far away when they would be able to wipe off the monster completely from the face of the earth. And it did come true. As Edward's process gained popularity, more and more people began to protect themselves against the speckled monster. Thus, one day, feeling weak and defeated, the evil monster left the land never to return. Since Edward's process was derived from the devil vaccinia, it soon came to be known to the world as vaccination. Vaccination, therefore, in very simple terms, is the process of injecting into our bodies the same germs of the disease infecting us, and this process therefore affirms that a cure was finally found for all naughty worms. Developed from vaccinia, the menace among cows, the process has been in use since then till now. It paved the way for a new breakthrough in medical institutions, all thanks to Edward Jenner for this wonderful solution. So friends, now that you know all about the process of vaccination, run along to your parents and tell them what a safe and helpful way it is to fight off all bad illnesses like the naughty coronavirus. If you liked our story, do not forget to subscribe and like our channel so that we keep sharing them with you. Remember, the more we share, the more you know, and the more you know, the more powerful you grow. So, till next time, from all of us at Tales for Tots, goodbye and good luck.